Every summer, I take my wife on a road trip across Europe to go to some of the best festivals in the world. Over the years, more and more friends of ours started going, making the party all the bigger. This year, however, some of them want to cancel due to the ever-rising gas fees. This got me thinking, what if we rented a bus so that this big expense can be shared by the whole gang? It'll not only be cheaper, in addition, next summer's festival can already kick off on the highway. Welcome to Crypto Hexplained, the easiest way to educate yourself on a ride around the blockchain. Here we try to explain crypto topics as simply as possible so everyone can understand. In this video, we'll go over Maximus and the perpetuals, looking at how they address the high gas fee issues on the Ethereum blockchain. As always, no financial advice on this channel. I'm just gathering the facts so my lazy friends don't have to. Maximus is a decentralized autonomous organization, in short, a DAO. Along with the perpetuals, it is built on top of HEX just like Hedron and Icosa. It has no admin keys whatsoever. The code is immutable and cannot be changed by anyone, not even the founding duo Goldkey and Dipcatcher. As I gave away in the analogy, this protocol allows people to pool their funds together into one giant HEX stake to save on gas fees along with other benefits. If you don't fully understand how HEX works or fully understand the mechanism behind a T-share, you should probably watch my previous video first before going any further. I'll go over it briefly though. With the regular HEX stake, every individual will have to specify how much HEX they want to stake for how many days. In order to start the stake, a transaction or gas fee has to be paid, after which your HEX tokens will be burned. In return, you'll receive a certain number of T-shares. These will accumulate yield daily until the end of your stake, which will then be minted together with your principal investment. To calculate how much yield you've earned, the smart contract has to run through all of the past daily payouts. The longer you staked, the more complex these calculations and the more gas fees you'll have to pay to end your stake. For whales, this may only be a small percentage of the total payout, but for smaller fish, this can absorb a fairly large portion of the stake, especially in a bull market. This is the primary reason why Maximus DAO was developed. In April of 2022, a 14-day minting phase occurred, giving people the opportunity to mint one maxi for every one HEX allocated to the Maximus smart contract. After the completion of this minting phase, a total of nearly 300 million HEX was collected and staked for 5,555 days. This provides not only a maximum longer pays better bonus of 200%, but also a maximum bigger pays better bonus of 10%. However, the minting phase is over, so there will never be more than 294,316,334 maxi. The supply is fixed. Although, this is not entirely correct, since maxi tokens can still be burned, as has already happened in another Maximus protocol. As a result, the total supply is now roughly 20 million tokens less. For those who missed the minting phase but still want to get in this pooled HEX stake, interesting moments may still occur. Since the participants received maxi tokens to represent their share of the total stake, they are able to trade that share. This is done on decentralized exchanges where one can choose to only trade a portion of their tokens. The Hedron dApp offers a similar feature by tokenizing HEX stakes, but these can't be divided into smaller pieces. Now, to clarify that interesting moments may still occur, you should know that Maxi will have two values over the course of the stake. First, we have the treasury value, or redemption value, which represents how much HEX has already been earned in yield per one Maxi. Since the Hedron dApp rewards HEX stakers, these free tokens are also taken into account. Second, we have the market value that shows the price at which Maxi is traded on decentralized exchanges. Like any other token, this responds to supply and demand. During the course of the stake, the market value demanded on exchanges can vary greatly with the treasury value. At certain times, this can cause a premium on top of the underlying HEX value, and at other times, serious discounts can take place. The further along the stake, the smaller this difference is likely to become. But as you can see, it is certainly something to keep an eye on. One thing's for sure. As the T-shares accumulate more and more yield every single day, you'll have to pay more and more HEX per one Maxi. If you want to find out if there's a discount, go to portfolio.maximus.cash. Enter your own Ethereum address to see how much your Maxi is redeemable for, and to compare the market value to the treasury value, click on Maxi. It is clearly indicated if there's a premium or a discount. On the right side, you can see the total amount of T-shares that are accumulating yield on a daily basis and how much you have to pay for just one of them, an important factor to include in your comparison with an individual HEX stake. Another small but significant detail is that during the stake, nobody can use the emergency end stake function. The smart contract removed this possibility so that no wrong decisions can be made for the entire group. After the stake is completed, any generous user can pay for the gas fees to end the stake. To make sure this person is reimbursed for his effort, a smart contract will be set up to collect donations from other stakers. This is not an obligation, of course, but the more people who do this, the smaller the individual cost will be. As soon as the stake is ended, the unstaker and only the unstaker will be able to claim this pot. So we've seen a number of compelling factors making Maximus DAO worth considering. Though, just like with the Hedron NFTs, you have to ask yourself what you need the most. Do you need the HEX smart contract to make you hodl, and most important, to keep you hodling? Or do you want Maximus DAO in order to earn all that wonderful yield without wrecking yourself on gas fees, and on top of that, keeping a backdoor open to get out whenever you want? Knowing the danger, though, you could sell your Maxi tokens in an emotional and weak moment during the many price fluctuations in the crypto market. Of course, you have to make your own decisions, but what I think we can all agree on is that the Maximus DAO minting phase was a great success. Such a success that, at the request of many Hexicans, 4 additional staking pools have been created, named the perpetuals. With these different pooled stakes, it's possible to make a decent staking ladder. With Maximus Base being a 1-year stake, Maximus Trio a 3-year stake, Maximus Lucky a 7-year stake, and Maximus Deci a 10-year stake. These pools work exactly the same as the 15-year Maximus DAO stake, except for a few interesting details. Their name, the perpetuals, already point out the main difference. Unlike the one-and-done Maximus DAO stake, these pools will be restaked again and again. At the end of each stake, there's a 1-week minting and redemption phase, giving you several options. First of all, you're able to redeem a portion or all of your HEX earnings and principal. The HEX tokens you don't collect will automatically be restaked for another term. Next to that, new perpetual tokens can be minted by anyone to participate in the next stake. However, this will no longer be done at the same rate as the first one. The new minting rate will be equal to the redemption value. If we use Base as an example and assume that after its first year the yield was an even 10%, this would mean that per 1 Base, 1.1 HEX has to be pledged to the contract. This protocol provides a perpetual, trustless, auto-compounding yield for HEX staking. The staking pools also make it possible to trade your tokens whether it's at a premium or at a discount. However, if you don't trust your own emotions during the many fluctuations in the crypto market, you can hard lock these perpetuals just like you can with HEX. The Diamond Hands feature enables you to remove the ability to trade your tokens. This is completely optional. In this feature, you will have to stake your tokens during the minting and redemption phase for a duration equal to the length of the perpetual stake itself. So for Base, this is 1 year. For Trio, 3 years, and so on. You're given the option to end the stake whenever you want, but if you do so too early, you will be penalized for a fixed 20% on your principal and you won't get any of the reward. These penalties are collected in the reward bucket and are distributed to the real diamond hands at the end of the stake. If you're planning on completing the full term of the perpetual stake, this feature can be an additional source of passive income. One more important detail is that there's an option for generous people to fund this reward bucket whenever they want. This might be something the founding duo will be doing in the future. Though this is completely voluntary, so you should have no expectations from the work of others. The only certainty you can rely on is the immutable code in these smart contracts. Now, another difference between the perpetuals and Maximus DAO is that only half of the earnings from the bigger pays better bonus will be distributed to the stakers. Don't worry, half of the T-shares derived from this bonus will still make more yield than from the bonus of most individual stakers. Also, the larger returns from the longer pays better bonus will remain untouched. Anyway, the other half of the bigger pays better earnings will be paid to the Maximus team along with all of the mintable hedron. It's not what you might think though. The two-headed team behind the perpetuals aren't getting these earnings. It actually goes to the stakers of the Maximus TEAM token. Different from the pooled HEX stakes is that this is a staking contract for those who believe in the utility and success of the perpetuals. The supply of TEAM was set after a 21-day minting phase. Those who participated could mint one TEAM per one maxi pledged to the smart contract. As this minting phase has already ended, no more TEAM will ever be minted. Anyone who wants this token will have to purchase it on an exchange. TEAM stakes occur in fixed one-year periods and run simultaneously with the one-year stakes of Maximus Base. The rules imposed are very simple. If you end your stake too early, you get a 3.69 penalty on your principal and you won't receive any of the rewards for that period. This way, the other stakers get more rewards, and on top of that, the penalties are burned by the contract. This causes the TEAM supply to keep going down, which means the token is deflationary. After a year, when the stake expires, all TEAM stakers can claim their share of the TEAM treasury. As mentioned earlier, this treasury gets filled with half of the bigger pays better earnings from the perpetuals, along with all of the mintable hedron. In addition, every 3 years, a portion of the maxi pledged in the minting phase gets rewarded back to the stakers. 5% is rewarded after the 3rd year, 10% after the 6th year, and 15% after the 9th year, giving you the chance to earn back 30% of the maxi tokens. To receive these tokens, you don't have to stake for a full duration of 9 years. You just have to make sure your team is staked for the entire previous year. Lastly, there is also a mystery box holding 50% of the maxi acquired from the minting phase and a copy of all the team tokens. It remains a mystery for now what will happen to these tokens, but it's clearly stated that one should have no expectations from this. Anything that comes out of this box should be considered an extra bonus. Interesting to know is that the remaining 20% of the maxi used to mint team was burned to lower the supply of maxi. The biggest source of passive income for team stakers comes from the bigger pays better bonuses. The more perpetual tokens minted between 2 stakes, the larger the team treasury will become. Bear in mind, though, that these stakes last for exactly 1 year. Unlike the perpetuals, you will have to manually indicate if you want to restake for an additional year. There's no auto restaking to avoid inactive team wallets from receiving any of the rewards. It's always possible that private keys get lost or that owners die. All right, let's recap. Maximus DAO is a one-and-done HEX stake of 15 years where the maximum bonuses provide more T-shares and thus earn more yield than if you were to stake on your own. In addition, no gas fees have to be paid, although there will be an option to reimburse the one who does. The maxi tokens represent everyone's share in the stake and can be traded at any time. Trading is not something I would recommend, but if you do, consider comparing the market value with the treasury value first. The perpetuals are 4 different staking pools, allowing you to make a decent staking ladder. Base is a 1-year stake, Trio a 3-year stake, Lucky a 7-year stake, and Deci a 10-year stake. These stakes will be automatically restaked after a short minting and redemption phase. They come with the same benefits as Maxi, but have an extra feature. Just like the individual HEX stakes, the Diamond Hands feature allows you to hard lock your tokens, taking away the stress as in, should I sell or should I hold? The downside to these perpetuals is that half of the bigger pays better earnings, along with all of the Hedron earnings, are paid out to the team stakers. Maximus TEAM is not another pooled HEX stake. It is a staking contract for those who believe in the utility and success of the perpetuals. The more perpetual tokens that get minted, the more passive income this team will receive. 30% of the Maxi they gave up for this purpose will be redistributed to those staked in years 3, 6, and 9. Additionally, the mystery box can provide pleasant surprises from time to time. As the Maximus founders keep on developing, this might bring benefits to the team treasury. But of course, no expectations from the work of others. Before I let you go, I would just like to remind you that these smart contracts are in addition to the HEX smart contract. Even though they are both immutable and as secure as they can be, there's still an additional layer of smart contract subject to potential hacking. Obviously, not to scare anyone or to tear down the protocol whatsoever, I just want to inform you as thoroughly as possible. Maximus and the perpetuals are perfect for those who want to stake like a whale without letting the gas fees hurt their investment while still being able to sell whenever they want. Emotions in the crypto world should not be underestimated though, so decide for yourself if you even want to be able to trade at all. All right, this wraps it up. Share, like, and subscribe if you've learned anything and want to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.